The call for San Diego. They gave it to us.
What's up, folks? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to update you on the first week with the pedal box, give you a little update on the final touches I put on the stereo system, and then I'm going to share with you the 3 reasons I feel the Dodge Challenger is the perfect car, and a lot of this applies to the Charger as well. But first, let's roll that intro. So let's get started. Let me give you an update on the stereo system. So if you have not been following my channel, go back, watch the last 4 or 5 videos and watch the insanity that took place with the total complete upgrade of all the interior speakers and adding subwoofers to my car through 3 different versions, from a 12-inch to 2 12s to 2 15s, and me reliving my childhood and completely embracing my midlife crisis. And I appreciate all of you who have been following me through this, because it's been fun. Frankly, I love the outcome. It sounds incredible. It's crystal clear. I did add a couple things to clean it all up because of a lot of your comments and suggestions, so let me show you what we did. All right, let's look at the final reveal. 2 15s in the Zen closure box came out perfect. Look how nice that looks. I can take this thing out anytime I want if I want to shed the weight. It's super easy. They slam like nobody's business. Remember, I got the 2 ohm speakers, so I had to go get a 2 ohm amp. So I got the JL Audio JD1000. I got the Wavelink Link Q because one of you suggested in the comments, and it definitely is worth the extra money. It's a line out converter, but it's much better high quality than the piece of junk I was using before. Got some carpet from Michael's, put some wedges on the back of that piece of wood so everything stays perfectly level, made all the wiring just spectacular, and now this looks professional, at least as professional as I could have made it look, and without your comments I wouldn't have been able to do this, so thank you very much. All right, 1 week update on the pedal box. I love it, still love it, not getting paid for this at all. I'm just sharing with you straight up how I feel about it, and I did watch all of your comments. Some of you loved it, thinks it's the greatest thing in the world, you want to get one. Some of you think it's a total gimmick, and I just want to address the whole gimmick thing. I thought the same exact thing, but I can tell you after having it for a week, if you took it away from me, I would be sad. I would be upset. So a gimmick would be something that does nothing or does very little of something that you pay a lot of money for. I will tell you right now, unless you've experienced the pedal box, you don't know, you have no idea the difference it makes. Suddenly you go from having no control over the sensitivity of your throttle to having total control and many different settings and variations that you can set just at a push of a button while you're driving. It's pretty amazing. And I know some people said you can do a tune and reset the sensitivity of your throttle. The problem is you totally void your warranty. This doesn't void your warranty. I checked with the Dodge dealer and they said no, unless the failure in the car was a result of the pedal box. It's important I address this too. Some of you said I bought the hoochie-moochie, you know, pedal thing, whatever they call it, for $70 on eBay, and I plugged it in my car and used it. Just a little heads up, people, don't buy something that's less than 1/3 of the cost of something else from some unknown human in eBay that may have copied this thing and plug it into the thing that controls your throttle. Don't do that. But dude, it works fine, it's great, until it doesn't. My concern is a cheap, non-branded product suddenly fails while you're doing 70, 80 miles an hour down the freeway. Let's say the throttle gets stuck or shuts off, or the wire breaks, or something cheap about that thing fails in something like your throttle. It seems like something like a normal brain person would not do, would not take a chance and do. You get what you pay for. Everything goes back to that, doesn't it? So I wouldn't plug that in. How about the pedal commander? Love the pedal commander. I think it's great, no question. Does a lot of the same things. Maybe even has a feature or two. I don't know. What I know is when I looked at it, it was bright yellow and black and looks like a child's toy that I'm sticking to the dash of my very beautiful leather, covered dash and beautiful aluminum steering wheel. And I'm not going to put that on my dash. It's going to look ridiculous. Now, should I care about the aesthetics of something? I mean, this is a muscle car, for goodness sake. Who cares? Yes, I care. That's why you saw my stereo. I had to make it look good. I want my interior of my car to look good, and I'm not going to put a big, bright yellow and black thing on my dash that brings all kinds of attention to it. This looks just like it was factory. It matches all the colors in my car, and even if you have a different color interior than I have, it still looks very OEM. So with that said, folks, that's why I like the pedal commander. The way I look at it is, without the pedal commander, you have no control. With the pedal commander, you have total control of your throttle. And it's fun. And I'll tell you, if you're out on the freeway and you're going to do a pull against somebody and that guy doesn't have one and you do have one, I promise you, you're going to have a jump. You're going to have a quicker reaction time than he's going to have. And that, to me, is not a gimmick. That's something real and substantial and significant that actually does something. So to call it a gimmick, you have to try it. You have to experience it. And I think if you watch all the reviews online, it's far from a gimmick. I mean, if you tried to take it away from me right now, I wouldn't let you. I think it's really cool. It's really fun. And I change the settings all the time. I turn it off sometimes, but most of the time I have it on one of the settings because having that little extra sensitivity just does make the car simply more fun. So that's my 1 week update on the pedal box. So now let's get into the 3 reasons I think the Dodge Challenger is the perfect car. And the first reason is the appearance. And before you go, oh my gosh, I knew he was going to say that, stick with me for a minute. I don't believe that there is a more beautiful muscle car on the road. Now, I know that's subjective, and some of you may be sitting in your Camaro right now having a heart attack and saying, no, I think my Camaro looks better. Listen, this car was modeled after the 1970 Challenger. When Michael Castiglione designed this body style, he designed it with the mindset that I'm going to take everything great from the 1970 Challenger and put it into this car, and everything that is bad and ugly about the 1970 Challenger we're going to eliminate. So we're going to refine what was an amazing car in 1970 and make it even better. And here's the point. Remember, follow me on this one. If you look at a Camaro, no offense to you Camaro people, this is just a fact. The 69 Camaro looks way better than your Camaro, your new body style Camaro. It looks so much more aggressive, so much more muscular and mean. It definitely more masculine. I'm sorry, it just does. And the whole point of bringing back a car from the past, bringing these retro cars back into the future and creating the new body styles would be to improve upon perfection. So perfection in 1969, 1970 for the Dodge Challenger, Charger, and even the Mustangs and the Camaros, you'd think that today the cars would look much better, and I believe the Mustang's pretty good. They did a pretty good job at mimicking the original Mustang models, but I don't think anybody has built a car that looks better than its predecessor like Dodge has. So the 1970 Dodge Challenger looked really cool, but the 2009 Dodge Challenger looked way better. And that's why the body style continues to stay the way it is to this day. And it's got the muscular hips in the back and the mean nostrils in the front and the grill that looks like it's a shark gonna eat you. I mean, this thing looks menacing. And that, I believe, Dodge did a phenomenal job in creating when they updated this car. They put so much thought into it to build something that was an improvement. And I just don't believe the Camaro. I don't even believe the Corvettes. I mean, the C8's amazing, but I just don't even think the Corvettes, the new Corvettes, look better than the old Corvettes. I think Dodge is the only company that I can think of that that brought back an original muscle car from the 60s and 70s and improved dramatically how it looks. Number 2 is repairs and maintenance and reliability. And I'm only speaking from my experience, so you can hammer me in the comments if you've had a bad experience. And I believe every car manufacturer out there has a few bad eggs that leaves the factory. But I've had nothing but great experience. I've had 3 of these cars so far. I've put close to a little over 20,000 on one and maybe 18,000 on the other. And this one, I'm a little over 7,000 miles on it. And I've had no issues. Now, I know that doesn't seem like a big deal because that's not a lot of miles. But in comparison to every other car, which is close to 40 cars that I've owned in my lifetime, this thing has been more reliable. So right out of the gate, there's nothing worse than buying a new car and that car going into the shop. It's such a happy day to buy the car, and for the first 6-8 months, you feel like you're in that honeymoon with that car. And if that car goes in the shop, there's an utter disappointment. For me, it evokes a ton of anger because I feel like a dealer should at least, a manufacturer should at least make a car that is going to make it, I don't know, 20,000 miles. In some cases, I have my BMWs, they didn't make it 3,000 or 4,000 miles before they got to the shop. My wife's BMW X3 M40i, ridiculously fast, almost $70,000 SUV. That thing already spent 2 weeks in the shop and is currently having issues with the tire sensors that just, no matter what happens, they just can't get it to get fixed right. So 2 weeks in the shop for other electrical issues, and now it needs to go back to the shop again. And we bought the car around the same time I bought this car, so it's like 6-7 months old. Very few miles on it, and the thing's already been in and out of the shop. My 740 was in the shop right after I got it. My my Mercedes AMG, I spent $127,000 on that car, less than 3,000 miles. The blower went out for $10,000. Yeah, it was under warranty, but what a disappointment it was for that to happen. And it happened at a stoplight trying to race a Dodge Neon, and the Neon had, you know, a field date, probably telling all his friends that he had a Mercedes AMG CL55, not be able to get off the line even and keep up with him, and that was frustrating. And if I just go back, you know, even my Hummers were in the shop right out of the gate. So I imagine if it, you know, usually how things start is how things end. So as long as you maintain your car, you service your car, you take good care of your Dodge Challenger or Charger, that this thing's going to be good back to you. And that's the way cars used to be. If you took good care of them, they would take good care of you. The problem is with Mercedes and BMW, you used to not even have to take good care of them, and they outlasted everything. But somewhere along the line, with all the technology, some executive decided, hey man, let's not make them as good. I don't know. The bottom line is they keep on breaking, and it's frustrating. It's not even the cost because they're all under warranty. It's constantly turning it in. My Range Rover, 4,000 miles. 4,000 miles. It was $90,000 about the Range Rover. 4,000 miles and the transmission goes out. I mean, that's utterly ridiculous. So reliability for me on these cars, I mean, it's been great. And when they do break, unless it's a Hellcat Red Eye or something, it's not going to cost a fortune to fix. I mean, it's still an American car, so getting the oil change is $100 versus my BMW was $350 to get the oil change. Now, the brakes on my Scat Pack were $650, $700 to get done. The problem with the Hellcat Red Eye, and just a heads up, everybody take a breath for this one. Brakes, front and rear brakes, if you had to get them both done, it's about $5 grand. So your front brakes are going to be close to $3,000 alone on a Hellcat Red Eye. So just if you're thinking about buying one, keep that in mind. So that's where the whole repair and maintenance thing breaks down a little bit, is with the Red Eye. But other than that, reliability is number 2. I'm very happy. Never had an issue with these things. Not even a little issue. I mean, it's perfect. So number 3 is the versatility of the car. What I love about this, and I think all muscle car enthusiasts love about this thing, is that it's so versatile. You can do anything you want to. You get to personalize this car and make it your own. If you look at the variations of these things that people have done to personalize them, it's so awesome to see the creativity. I mean, when you make a car yours because you did modifications to it the way you like it, to all you guys with chrome wheels, God bless your souls, who do these things to their cars. I mean, it's such a personalization, an emotional feeling that makes you fall in love with your car to the extent that you keep it forever, or at the very least, like me, you keep trading up to get another one of the same exact car because it's so much fun to fix up and make your own. And when you walk out in the morning, you look at it and you see all the stuff you did to your car, you get that sense of pride. All the stuff I did to this thing, I mean the stereo system, the lights, and all the cool stuff I've done. If you watch my other videos, I'm proud of those things. This is my car. Even though Dodge built it, it's become my car. A bag of interior tools, and I could take this sucker apart and put it back together and make it significantly better than the way it was when I got it. That is what I love about this thing. Now, here's the deal. In contrast, my 740 BMW or my wife's BMW or even some of these other imports, to tear those things apart, I mean, in the BMW, it's fiber optic wiring. It's like, how am I going to screw with the stereo system there without breaking something? Taking out the interior, you've got all these strange fiber optic lighting going around in the car. I mean, anything I do in there could cost me $2,000 or $3,000 if I screw up. This, I can dig into it, tear into it, and even when I thought I broke it, I simply let it sit in the driveway overnight, and everything re-downloaded to the navigation, and everything worked again. So that's why I love these things, and I think all of you out there driving Dodge Chargers and Challengers, or if you're out there contemplating whether to buy one of these cars, let me just tell you, your life improves when you get to buy something and instill your creativity and put your touch on it and make it your own, which is why we love going to car meets to see what people do to their cars. It's a lot of fun. So with that, folks, thank you so much for watching my videos. Please like, please subscribe, and I'll talk to you next week.